critical juncture in the long war. Madam Speaker, we owe it to the Afghan people, the Pakistani people, our allies, and our own national security interests and our courageous U.S. troops to stiffen our spines and heed the recommendations put forth by General McChrystal. As a leading expert on counterinsurgency efforts, General McChrystal has rightly put the focus on winning over the Afghan civilians to our side by providing the security they so desperately want for their families and villages. As an American and as a member of this House, I hate to put U.S. soldiers in harm's way, whether it's on our own shores or halfway around the world. We all wish that we could remove our troops from the day-to-day, face-to-face conflicts with the insurgent forces in Afghanistan. We all wish that we could finish this job by dropping bombs on the bad guys from the safety of unmanned drones or conducting surgical strikes with special forces. This counterterrorism effort holds much appeal, and those tactics can win in many battles. But there's a problem. Our own very recent experiences teach us that counterterrorism alone can't win this wider war. We faced a similar crossroads in Iraq 3 years ago. American forces had suffered heavy casualties. The Iraqi government was inept and corrupt. The Sunni insurgency and the al-Qaeda in Iraq ravaged the country. Our nation then took a new course. We took a risk, highly controversial one at the time, Madam Speaker, but that risk turned out to be an investment in Iraq's future, and it's an investment that has paid off for the United States today. Today we have a measure of stability that no one could have predicted 3 years ago. As a result, we are positioned to draw down our troop levels there. In fact, when President Obama was a candidate, he saw the success in Iraq as a chance to redirect our attention to Afghanistan. Then Senator Obama in August of 2008, and I quote, "Ending the war will allow us to invest in America, to strengthen our military, and to finish the fight against al-Qaeda and the Taliban in Afghanistan and the border region of Pakistan. This is the central front in the war on terrorism. This is where the Taliban is gaining strength and launching new attacks. This is where Osama bin Laden and the same terrorists who killed nearly 3,000 Americans on our own soil are hiding and plotting 7 years after 9/11. This is a war that we have to win. As a Commander-in-Chief, I will have no greater priority than taking out these terrorists who threaten America and finishing the job against the Taliban." Finish the quote. As President Obama issued an important policy statement on Afghanistan in March, he said his goals were to, and I quote again, "disrupt, dismantle, and defeat al-Qaeda in Pakistan and in Afghanistan and prevent their return to either country in the future," end quote. In that statement, President Obama said explicitly that we cannot allow the Afghan government to fall again to the Taliban because, I quote, "that country will again be a base for terrorists who want to kill as many of our people as they possibly can," end quote. These are clear words, Madam Speaker. Those words, if they were U.S. policy, would give solace to our allies, to the Afghans, to the Pakistanis, and to our own troops taking the fight to the Taliban. Our actual intentions in Afghanistan are not clear, even though General McChrystal's report states explicitly that without more troops in the next year, the United States faces missions failure where defeating the insurgents is no longer possible. That's the view of a respected general, the commander handpicked by President Obama, who works in Kabul and travels around Afghanistan every day. So why is it that the Obama administration is sending mixed signals to the American public and to the rest of the world, why in his national security advisor on Sunday morning talk shows saying that Afghanistan is not in imminent danger of falling? After many years of fighting in Afghanistan, after many years of 2 steps forward and 1 step back, we cannot flinch. We must let our allies and our military to defend the Afghans the right to know takes to the possible to provide security and stability. Governing is about tough decisions. We must make the tough decisions to give General McChrystal the troops he needs. We finish this mission. We must protect the population and assure them that we're not going anywhere. That's our only hope of winning over the Afghan people who fear that if they work with us, they'll be slaughtered by the Taliban when the Americans leave. As President Obama said just 2 months ago, and I quote, "This will not be quick, not be easy, but we must never forget Let's hope he is not forgotten.
Burgess from Texas.
I thank the Speaker for the recognition and ask permission to address the House for 5 minutes, revise and expend
Without
remarks.
objection.